Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and we're in the 3.5 Monster Manual, and today we are on the Unicorn. And the Unicorn is just a fancy horse, pretty much. So, it's got a horn. Let's see what we can do with that. I have a horse here. It's a little bit big, but I just like the pose of this one better than some of the other ones I had. I can show you what I had to work with. So, this is kind of like my potential mount box. So I do have some ducks in here for some reason. But I have a bunch of horses. I have some already unicorns that are from the unicorn pack from Five Below. And these are really good. This one looks kind of doofy. But I have tons of horses. Oh, I kind of like that one. He's got like a doofy head. Let's use this one instead, maybe. Will he fit on my base? Snugly. Let's see if I can use one of these doofy ones. I have a few of these doofy horses. I bought them in like some kind of pack that had several doofy horses in it. And I just couldn't find a good... Ooh, look at that one. That's super doofy. Let's see if this make this one fit on this base. Yeah, we could. Snugly. These are probably closer to what you need for the size of a D&D horse. But they have doofy shaped heads. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm riding a horse. Yeah, that's good. But anyways, yeah, their heads are just real thin and doofy. I don't know. Ooh, look at him. He's the doofiest. Alright, well, let's switch out guys here. And let's use a doofy one. I don't know which one I like better, though, for the shape. We'll use this one. Not like it really matters that much. I already have a unicorn that I really do like. And how often do you use a unicorn, you know? So just to make sure everything sticks to it nice, I'm going to rough it up a little bit with this wire brush. Let's get some glue. Oop. Should have took some Motrin. That's okay. That's the end of that one. I'm going to get a toothpick. I'm going to spread that out around the base and try to fill that in pretty good. Get all the little grooves and up to the edges. Let's get a little baking soda. And sprinkle it on there. I'm getting a toothbrush and cleaning this off camera onto my garbage bag here. Okay. Now let's mount this thing. I need another glue. Oops. So to mount this, I'm just going to get a little bit of glue on the 3 flattish feet. And I'm going to stick it on here and let it sit for a minute while I grab a little baking soda to sprinkle around this foot and get a good bond around this feet, not foot. Oh, you bastard. Of course. Why wouldn't it? Okay. Sprinkle. And turn it this way and do the same. And I think we got a good bond there. So this horse does not have like a super great amount of hair. And his tail's a little underwhelming, or her. Could be a her. Pardon me. And there's a little bit of a seam to the back, on the back there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run my hot glue gun along that seam and see if I can't kind of make that disappear with some heat. And I think that seam's pretty much gone. I'm going to come down. I'm going to make his tail bigger. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to drag it down. I'm going to let it kind of pull into a point on both sides. And let it pull down. And let the natural Alright, well, I'm going to let that cool. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to add to the mane. Maybe we should get that horn in there first, though. Now, somebody reminded me about the art of pin drilling, something I've kind of gotten away from. This pin drill is super dull because I had snapped it off and tried to sharpen it with a, I don't know what you call it, a Dremel. I want to look and see exactly where this thing's horn pops at, so I don't just stick one on there randomly. And people are like, hey, that looks like a rhino. Alright, so right above the eyes. Okay. Calm down. I'm going to get a little bit of a flat spot there, just real careful. So that whenever I start pin drilling, it doesn't move on me. Okay? So I want to center it. And I'm just drilling a pilot hole right now. I'm going to use the larger pin vise to make the hole. Okay. Yeah, you don't need to go super deep. Then we want to get a toothpick and our flat snips. That's a little bit long yet. Let me get a little bit of glue. Pull that around. I'm going to wipe off the inside of the ears because I don't want a bunch of stuff there. Then I'm just going to sprinkle lightly some baking soda. Alright, so my tail should be mostly dry, so I'm going to pull off that excess. And I'm not real happy with how much hot glue I have there, so even now. So I'm going to get some more. I'm going to make that a little fuller. Okay. I'm going to come on this side and do the same, starting in the back. And I'm going to come and let it drip down to a point. Oops. Now, I might have made a mistake here. Let me pull some of that down and thin that tail up a little bit. So I got it way too thick. Okay. All right. Let's get this glue picked up. Ooh, look at that, stringy. And only some of it stuck to my hand, if you can believe it. All right. Pull that off. And I'm just gonna start making some hair-like kind of shapes in that. All right, let's get some, starting out at the horn. Pulling hair down. We're going to increase the size of the hair on the neck and make it a little fancier. Okay, and we'll let that cool. Come back and do some more work on that tail. Just making some grooves, thin grooves to represent the different little layers of hair on the tail. Okay. Now when that neck dries, we're going to do the same thing. I think we're going to need a little hair in the front. of the horn as well. And we'll just pull it up. Let me get another glue stick, because I'm so close to the end of that one. It's becoming an issue. Well, let's get in here and add some texture. Try to get down. Make it look nice. I don't want to really do this, but let's get rid of those spider webs. All right, sweet. Now, we should have a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like if we look at the texture there on the glue. So there are just a couple spots that need a little teeny weeny bit of work to clean up. Okay. So first I'm going to hit this with a clear coat, just to make sure that paint sticks to it well. Now, back in the 90s, and I don't think I was really doing too much custom stuff in the 80s, but in the mid to late 90s, when I was like in my teens and really doing more stuff, we used to use my mom's hairspray to make everything stick. And it's funny, I'd forgotten all about that, and I didn't even realize I did it. And my friend Sam was talking about hairspray, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then my mom was like, I remember you guys stealing my hairspray because I told you it would make your paint stick. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that completely. I have a white here. It's kind of old. I haven't used the white for a while. Let's try it out. It's pretty empty, but we can try it. Alright, so that is not doing a great job for coverage. It is a little gunky and gummy. So we're just going to dry it and use it from there. Alright, so when I did my last unicorn, I actually did not base coat it white anyways. When I did my last unicorn, this unicorn is going to be a female. And you can tell because there's nothing hanging down there and because she doesn't have a beard. And male unicorns have a beard. So when I did my last unicorn, I did not base coat it in white. I base coated it in a blue, a light blue, and worked out to a white. So I'm going to do something similar today with this one and hope it looks just as good as the first one did. So I'm going to get a little bit of gray here. Hello, give me some of that gray. It's cold in the garage. It makes the paint not want to behave. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to just get those together. Something in the middle there. And paint the whole thing. And we want to try to make sure we get it in all the cracks. We could wet it, I suppose, but I didn't clean out my paint water, so that would be a catastrophe, I promise. I think we got it pretty much covered. Now there's a little bit of a lump there that I'm not real happy with. So I'm going to try to just fix that a little bit like this. And this is probably not a smart way to do this, but we're so far past the point of no return on that. I don't want it to look like it has some kind of weird syndrome. And let's just hope paint sticks to that well. Okay. Like I said, we want to kind of try to get in all the cracks if we can. I can't quite get in there with this brush, but I don't care. That's all right. So let's or hot air this dude. And let's get white. And a soft brush to use. Oh, the derpiest horsey. He was the derpiest little she was the derpiest little unicorn ever. Man, that's not taking paint well right there. No problem. Just go a little bit overboard with it and we'll make it work. Okay. Something like that. Then we'll dry it with a hot air gun. Okay, base, dark brown. Dampen my brush. If you get a little bit on the hose, that's okay. We'll come back and paint those. And I'm not painting my hose white either. Sweet. I just want to say the other night we were having Doom Venture on Discord, and I misspelled skeletal, and I put skeletal. I don't know. Thank God somebody was there to correct me. So for those of you that don't know, I run a little mini game, very, very loosely based off my own system. And it's just for fun more so than it is for anything else on the Discord. And I ran my first live one in voice chat for the Doom Venture. It was the first one I did with voice chat. I've done some text ones. And we used to do the adventure paint, but we kind of got away from that. So anyways, I just run like an adventure, and then everybody gets on, and we use a die roller mod. I don't know if it's called a mod application, I guess, on Discord to do the die rolls. It was nice. We played for about 3.5 hours or so. Maybe it was a little longer, but not a whole lot longer. We had about 4 people adventuring. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Some of the people that watch this channel were playing the RPGs with me. And then my second oldest son made an appearance, and for the last hour, Mrs. Doom played a little bit. But she mostly just laughed the entire time, because one of the people in our Discord's character, Kaito, is a centaur goofball, and there was some shenanigans throwing the rogue up in the air and stuff like that went terribly with bad rolls. I thought it was hysterical personally, but Mrs. Doom just could not quit laughing about it. So I'm gonna white brush this one more time before I go back and do the antlers and horns and stuff, or horn and you know what I mean, the things and the stuff. Just because I want to make sure everything's bright and beauteous. Cool. Let's get a small brush. So for the hooves, I'm just going to get this blue gray, dark blue gray, and I'm going to be very, very careful. I've damped this brush in my mouth, and I'm just going to carefully paint these hooves dark blue gray. Now, I don't think that, even though I looked at the picture in the book, I don't think that unicorns actually have regular hooves like a horse. I think they have like deer hooves. But in the 3.5 Monster Manual, it did not they're not seem to be addressed, so I'm not worried about it. Because I'm trying to, make the 3.5 monster manual, not Doom's idea of how every monster or creature should look. Shim, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yo, shimmy, yeah. Okay, and there's a little bit of brown I missed going through. So I'm just going to get that dark brown and do it with this small brush. And just clean up any of the mistakes I didn't get on the first go around with the brown. Get in there and turn any of the things that are supposed to be brown real quick. Okay. Now for my for my horn, I have a cool idea, but I don't know how cool it's going to be. So let me think here. All right, I'm going to paint it in khaki first. Then I'm going to dry that off. With my +2 hot air gunner burning. And I'm going to touch it with yellow lightly. But I'm going to lighten this yellow up with a little bit of ivory, which is like a yellowish white. So I'm going to get a little bit of yellowish white on here. There we go. I'm going to steal a little bit of yellow. Okay. I'm just going to lighten that up. And I'm not getting it right up against the fur. I'm just getting it a little bit out further along the spike. I'm going to rinse out my brush. Oh, I'm a derpy. If you guys saw the Derpy Dragon, my mascot, you'd be like, oh shit, I think they're related. No, I'm playing. Don't say mean stuff like that, guys. Come on. My dragon's only a little bit derpy. So I have somewhere over here, I'm looking for it right now. I have glow in the dark paint. That's not what I want though. I have a paint, if I can find it. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Oh, hell. Here we go. It's Folk Art Enamel Glitter Gold. So I'm going to paint the mane and the tail with this because it's clear with gold sparkles. And I'm also going to paint the antler, or the horn. I don't know why I keep calling it antler. So it's supposed to be clear. Oh, it's not clear. I was deceived. I could have swore it was clear. I thought I've used this before. I have used it before. Maybe I mixed it with something or got it dirty somehow. That happens. And I'm going to add some glitter to make my unicorn extra sparkly. Sparkly unicorns. Sparkly unicorns. That's hideous. All right, eye. So, you want a white color? I'm using off-white Mommy Rose, it is. You can use any white off-white you have. Just get a little dibby-dab of that. And I'm going to just paint that eye carefully, that off-white color. If you can't use regular white here, or leave it the color it is, or there'll be no contrast. Part of me wants to do a light pink on the inside of that nose. And I'm going to do it. I'm just going to drag that pink across the whole front of his face, because I think it will look good. You don't have to do that. I probably wouldn't do that, because if we went too far with this, it would be terrible. There, I like it. So I got my off-white eyes. I got my sparkles. Sparkles! I got my pink mouth and noses. Got some gray hooves. We got one more thing to do. We got to go around the edge of the base with black, and we got to do the eyes. So that's two things. I'm getting a pretty blue color. Apparently that pretty blue color is called turquoise. So it's greenish blue or bluish green, however you want to look at it. I think teal is like more green and turquoise is like more blue. I don't know. Oh, I already touched right on the eye accidentally while I was pulling it up. Okay. He's cross-eyed. She's cross-eyed because she's derpy. The derpiest unicorn. I wrote this song for your mom. Wow, somebody is rude. Did you hear somebody ran through my garage singing horrible stuff about my mom? I hope they were talking about somebody else's mom. The derpiest unicorn. Get out of my garage. They're so derpy. Get out. All right, full disclosure, there's no one else in my garage. That was me singing. Yes, I know. It doesn't seem likely that I have such an angelic voice. I'm just being silly tonight. I'm tired. I had a long day at work. It drained the soul right out of me. I mean, it wasn't a bad day. I still had fun. I enjoy what I do. I mean, it's just it was very physical today. And I'm fat and old, not quite used to very physical. And when I see the younger guys doing stuff, it makes me feel kind of like just standing around giving direction and stuff makes me feel kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Just makes me feel less. So, of course, I got to get in there and do the stuff, too. I can't shirk. If you're going to be one of those bosses that leads from the front, you got to be able to throw it out there and do it. Can't be one of those punk lead from the front bosses that doesn't actually bring the thunder, right? Got to bring it. We're having burgers for dinner tonight. We actually eat dinner every day, believe it or not. But I only tell you guys when I'm excited about what I'm having. So unless I'm having tacos or burgers, I generally don't talk about it. We could have Thanksgiving every day. But who can afford it? Not I, said the booger eater. Then I chased him out of my garage. All right, let's see how this dude's going to look. Can't you see? It's the Durper unicorn here. All right, let's get some hot air on this dude. And then let's do some flock. Grab a little bit of clear glue. Poo-hoo-hoo. And the toothpick that was left over from doing his horn. I'll pull that condom off there so Sweeney doesn't make fun of me later. Ooh, I got stuff all over me now. Pulled the condom off, got shit all over my hand. All right. Hey, come on, don't laugh at that. Shame on you guys. Yeah, I know which ones y'all were laughing. I'm going to be on Discord yelling at everybody for laughing at that later. I know what kind of perverts dwell around. Now, I would like a lot of flock on my unicorn base because I would like to add some really pretty contrast here. You put as much as you want or none at all. If none at all is how much you want. And then there was a little bit of white sticking out right there. And even though I didn't want flock right there, instead of getting brown and fixing that again, I'm just going to use some white to fix that. Okay. Grab your flock. I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with me today. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. Leave me a comment. Is that all the things that can be done? Anyways, join our Discord. Show us what you're making, what you're crafting, what you're building. It doesn't just have to be miniatures and stuff either. We have people on there crafting weapons and crocheting and felting, I think it's called. It's really cool. And there's people that post pictures of aminals, and there's memes and all kind of stuff. Join us today. That'd be swell. And come to DungeonSwag.com and buy some miniatures. Not these miniatures. The miniatures we're selling on Dungeon Swag, you doofus. Try harder. All right. See you next time. And have a good evening.